Hi guys, welcome to another tutorial. Today I decided to make an update on the basic bodice pattern that I already have on this channel, and this is going to be so much more detailed and so much more updated than the previous one. So if you want to learn this new trick, do stick around and let's just jump right into the tutorial.
Now from the edge of your pattern, you're going to take your shoulder to shoulder measurements divided by 2. My shoulder to shoulder is 16 divided by 2 is 7.5, and I'll place that mark right there. Now because you're going to be joining this bodice to your sleeve, you have to add ½ inch allowance to your shoulder to shoulder measurements. Now I will just place my ½ inch seam allowance right there. Now there is something called the shoulder slant because our shoulder is not straight, and 3 inches is standard for placing that shoulder slant. Now you come here and take 1 inch down and you connect it to that 3 inches, and this is how you get your shoulder slanted. Now next thing we're going to do is to take our armhole depth. Now you can as well just measure whatever it is you have from as your shoulder to shoulder measurement, and you will get that as your place that as your armhole depth. Or this is a trick. This is also a trick on how to get your armhole depth. Your bust circumference, mine is 39 divided by 6
plus 1.5 inch, and you can also add ½ inch for joining to the sleeve. And here is another formula for getting your armhole depth. Your bust circumference divided by 4 minus 1.5.
And that in total would give you 8 inches. And as you can see, if you measure your shoulder to shoulder measurement, it gives you 8 inches. And also if I use this technique, I also get 8 inches. So that is going to be my armhole depth. And make sure you take it from your new shoulder, this new shoulder line, not from the top. You take it from here and you place.
And this new line is going to be my chest line, and I'm just going to place the label right there, and I'm going to connect my armhole line all the way down to my chest line. Now next thing you're going to do is to take your shoulder to nipple point, and add ½ inch to it for allowance. Now take your shoulder to under bust, also add ½ inch to it for allowance, and also take your shoulder to waist, as you can see me do. And now I will take the length I want for my blouse and also add hemming allowance to it. Now I am just going to connect all the marks I have on my pattern. And here is my bust point, here is my under bust, and here is my waistline, and here is my blouse length. Now next thing we're going to do on this pattern is to take our chest circumference divided by 4. Now you come down to your under bust and take your under bust circumference divided by 4, and you come down to your waist, take your waist circumference divided by 4, and also come down to your blouse length and take your hip circumference divided by 4. Now I am just going to connect all the lines. Now we're going to be adding darts to this pattern. To get your darts, place your tape rule on one nipple to the other nipple, and mine is 8 inches. And divided by 2 is 4 inches. And that is what I am basically placing on my pattern from my bust point all the way down to my blouse length. And now I'll just connect all the lines. Now we're going to start placing in our darts. From your bust point line, go downwards by 1 inch. Now from your blouse length, go upwards by 2 inches. Now at your waistline, you're going to take ½ inch on each sides. Now next thing you're going to do is connect your dart lines. Now basically you need your seam allowance on the side of your bodice pattern. Now I am going to be using 1½ inches for sewing allowance at the chest area, and on the other bust 1½ inches for sewing allowance. Remember to measure your darts. Whatever dart you have here, you're going to return it back on this side. And once you've done that, you're going to place that 1½ inch for sewing allowance also on your underbust. Now go down to your waist and measure the dart you have here, which is 1 inch. I'll place it right here and also add my 1½ inches for sewing allowance. Now on my blouse length, there is no dart here, as you can see. Now you're just going to place your 1½ inch for sewing allowance, and next thing we're going to do is connect all the lines. Now you can leave your blouse the way it is, or you can just take 3 inches upwards and 3 inches downwards and just connect and have a little curve right here if you don't want to have a sharp edge. Now on your armhole line, we're going to be placing our armhole curve. Now to do that, you're going to find the midpoint of your armhole, and once you found that midpoint, you're going to go inwards by 1 inch if you're making a sleeve pattern. If you're making for sleeveless, you have to use ½ inch. Now I will go inwards by 1 inch, or you can as well use 3 centimeters at the back of your tape roll. Now from my chest line, I'll go upwards by 2½ inches, and this is not mandatory. This is just to help you give your basic bodice a better shaping of your armhole curve. And now I'll just connect all the lines and just connect it all the way to this point. Now this is very important for you to know that when drafting your basic bodice pattern, the front armhole curve is usually deeper than the back armhole curve. That is just the basic way to draft your basic bodice pattern. Now, because I am using the same pattern to cut out for the back, I will just connect my back armhole to this point like this, and this part is going to be my back armhole. Now we're going to move to the neckline. Now we're going to start with drafting the neckline of the front. Remember I said this pattern is going to also serve as my back pattern. Now I am going to take 3 inches for the width of my neckline and 3½ inches for the length of my neckline. I am just going to connect the curve. Remember that you can use any neckline of your choice. Now this is just a round neckline, and the back length neckline I am using is 1 inch, as you can see. And remember that the width of the neckline of your front should always match with the neckline of the back. And I'm just going to connect my lines and also my curve. Now this new pattern right here is going to be my back pattern, and as you can see, I have placed allowance for my zip. As you can see, what I placed here is 2 inches for my zip allowance. Now what I'm going to do is place my front pattern on this line, on that zip line, as you can see, and I am going to pin my front pattern down. Now once you're done pinning, I will start cutting out my back neckline straight down to the shoulder and the armhole and the rest. Now what you should do next is to retrace your chest line, your waistline, and also your blouse length. This way you can know where they are on your back pattern. And once you're done with the back pattern, you're just going to go on and cut out the front neckline and the front armhole. And remember that when cutting this on your fabric, those points has to be on fold on your fabric. Your fabric has to be on fold on those points because this is your center front, which basically means you're going to be cutting out just one piece for your front pattern, unlike the back pattern, which you're going to be cutting out two pieces because of the zipper allowance. Now as you can see, I am just straightening out those marks that I placed on my pattern so I can know where my bust line is, my waistline is, and my blouse length. Now you're going to take the same nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 that you took on your front pattern on your back pattern. Make sure that you take it from the zip line as you take, and you're going to connect the line. Now once you're done connecting, you're going to place in your darts on the waist part, and you're going to add 1/2 inch on both sides. Now on your chest line, go downwards by 1 inch, and on your blouse length, go upwards by 1 inch. And you're just going to go in and connect your dart lines. And for your back pattern, remember you're going to cut out 2 of this on your fabric. Now, in case you always have the zip bulge or rumples at the back of your zipper, once you're done stitching your fabric together, this is how to go about it. And me, for once, I have never had this issue of zip bulge or rumples at the back of my zipper. But if you want to learn how to eliminate that bulge, stick around. Now at this waistline, I am going to go inwards by 1/2 inch, and I'm going to connect this line upwards and also connect it downwards. Now, everybody's body are not similar. Some bodies are curvier than the other. Now, that is why sometimes you need to give the back a little bit of shape and a little bit of curve. And that is why the elimination of zip bulge is necessary. Now, I will just extend this waistline all the way to the end. And on this part of my waistline, I would also go inwards by 1/2 inch, and I'm just going to connect it upwards and also downwards. And by doing this, you have already given your pattern that curvy shape at the back, and there is no way you're going to have a zip bulge at the back of your fabric once you're done stitching. Now I will just cross this out so there will be no confusion, so you know where you're cutting out. So now I will just go on and cut out the rest. And we have come to the end of this tutorial, guys. If you like this video, please do give this video a thumbs up, and hope to see you in so much more detailed videos to come. See ya.